Feds did. Well, you don't know anything about this, do you?
No.
You know something about it if you live around here.
Yeah, I grew up here. I grew up in Bryant.
Why don't you tell us what should we do for water supply if we go out and we try to build one here in the community and it gets shut down again?
We haven't, the question was, you want to repeat your question? Okay. So,
I'll say, and so the last time we went to build a reservoir, the city probably spent, or the tax people collected money on taxes, probably around $6-7 million. And the Fed shut us down for building a reservoir. The city of Benton is in desperate need of a reservoir now. That was 20 years ago when the need was addressed. And
there were, I don't know, honestly, I don't know all the history, okay? I mean, yes, I was here at the time, but there were studies done. Yes, they surveyed for the Arkansas fat mucket to see where it occurred when that was done. There was never a consultation between the Corps who would have permitted that and the Fish and Wildlife Service. There was never a jeopardy opinion or any sort of opinion written by the Fish and Wildlife Service on Lake Avila.
I don't know if that was Lake Avila.
I think that was Lake Avila.
No, it wasn't Lake Avila.
Okay, well, either way,
But it was actually the Feds one shut it down. I don't know if they couldn't get the 401 permit or what the circumstances was, but it was the Feds that shut it down.
And I think again, if you took any community, any trying to stay anywhere they are, and ask how many people have heard of these mussels, let alone seen one, would be less than 2%. Y'all make out like this is something we just can't do without.
Otters are eating.
Where is this gentleman? I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Well, I have a couple things I'd like to address. The information does not go out about these meetings, and it needs to go out to the landowners and the farmers. There's a perfectly easy way to do. You guys and all the federal agencies have a really problem communicating across agencies. You got the NRCS, the extension offices in every county. They have a list of most every landowner and farmer, rancher in the counties. They can designate when these meetings are and when these proposals are coming up, but nothing comes from them.
And I can say that from our standpoint, and I'll refer to, I'm looking for Kristen, is right over here. She's our congressional liaison, but I can say that we have a large list of folks that we contact, federal agencies, other stakeholders. We contact newspapers, media outlets, and to get the information out. Now, we can't control from that point where it goes.
It's not negative. I mean, I'm farm.
Right.
And I'll get letters from NRCS and extension all the time. They've not mentioned any of this.
Right, and I know that NRCS is on our list. I mean, we have a long list of stakeholders. Kristen, I don't know if you want to say anything. 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, we sent out a press release about this, and we sent one out on Monday.
Less than 50 people here.
Right, but that's the press release, but also we contact all the agencies so we.
There's a flaw there somewhere.
And I appreciate that. That's something we can look into. I guess I'm just trying to say is that we try.
Look into how many more meetings do you have?
But there may be room for improvement.
And on these mussels, if I put a relay up in the White River irrigated rice, and I can pump these mussels out in the field and die, what's going to happen to me?
If you're saying the mussels in the.
yeah, I've never seen a mussel pumped out on a relief pump.
Well, I have, and I was
Okay,
one
well,
there on the relays.
Not this kind of mussel.
No, yeah, I mean, it might be Asian clams. I mean, that's what the gentleman was talking about, lakes, seeing a lot of mussels, that's what you see a lot of,
You
Asian.
stick that intake down in the mud and start pumping there, whatever's there goes out the discharge. Snakes, turtles, fish, clams, mussels, whatever's in the silt. So that's what I'm asking.
But
What happens?
Crickle habitat does not have anything to do with that.
Okay, that's
The listing protects the mussel. But to violate the Endangered Species Act, it has to be a knowing intentional take. So if you're pumping water out and you accidentally pump one out, that's not a knowing intentional take.
When I'm around the court, I can get you to come and testify.
I would be glad to.
I think we're on video, so.
And the other thing I'd like to address is I have a problem with your data collection. How far do you go back to 1985?
But we looked at all the historical data, so I mean, if there was historical data, so in some states, especially out east, they've got lots of data that goes back to the early 1900s. We've got spotty data in Arkansas that goes back to the early 1900s, but most of our data in Arkansas for freshwater mussels has been collected since the 1970s. But what we looked at for these two mussels is historical distribution, current distribution and abundance since 1985.
Okay, well, I've got a question on this. Would you agree with me that agricultural chemicals and insecticides and nitrates were a lot worse in the 60s and 70s than going into streams? Industrial waste also going into streams then than there is now?
I would agree that water pollution in general prior to the Clean Water Act was much worse in rivers and across the United States.
I think I found the problem. The mussels need pollution. Because as pollution declines, the mussels are declining.
Before we proceed, I
There you
know
go.
that there's a lot of folks that want to comment here, and I just want to
Interesting.
establish a sense of order for where we're going next. I think Patricia wants to speak. I know this gentleman in the back has been standing up for a long time in the green shirt. Did you want to? Okay, so